the shipping containers or something, that should be like a meeting in itself or a committee in itself or a mini committee or a subcommittee.
We're just a brainstorming session. We would,
Right.
anything that we, think would be good for the town,
Right.
we don't have the decision to change that. We would bring it would go to the town board, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they would, if they had changed anything, they would have to have a public hearing anyways, correct?
Right.
Well, I'm saying
So-
that some of the issues, if they're important enough, they might warrant their own little meeting or their own, get together
Sure.
of things.
Right.
Because this was great ideas coming up that, if you had 5 more people, you'd get 5 more things that might keep you from stumbling into
Right.
writing up or suggesting that the town write up things that are unenforceable or will, raise people's hackles to the point where it's not worth it. Like I would argue to the end of time that dandelions are wonderful looking flowers. They're edibles, and I should be allowed to grow them 8 feet high if I want my
Absolutely.
dandelions 8
I feel
feet
the same way.
high. So how are you going to tell somebody that they can't grow grass? What if they're saying I'm willing to eat that grass? You're going to come up against arguments like that.
Or hay it.
Or,
I wouldn't disagree with you. I guess, like I said, I'm only one person in this town, so it would just be my opinion. I would think that, whatever the cumulative majority, as we live in a democracy, decides, would be what suits everyone. And Schuyler Falls is very diverse as far as, you have a hamlet and then you have rural areas. I, living in the hamlet, do not want to see my neighbor's grass 10 foot tall.
In essence, I agree with you.
It increases the
Majority
chances of
rule.
rodents entering my house. It increases bugs. There are a lot of issues that I didn't have to contend with, and then I could possibly have a property. It devalues my property. So how is that fair to me? That would be my argument.
In your opinion, it devalues your property.
Sure.
The intellectual
Right.
argument could be made that I'm enjoying the artistry of my overgrown natural habitat here.
That would be your opinion then too.
Right. So
Exactly.
Now you're talking opinion against
So there
opinion.
you
Sure.
Not,
So that's where the democracy comes in, and whoever has the broad opinion should be the rule
Well,
of the town.
the counter to the traditional democracy argument is there's lots of times in our history where the majority has been absolutely horrifically wrong,
Sure.
and you need to protect the rights of the individuals against the ignorance of the majority sometimes. I'm not saying that in any way that what you're saying is. I'm just saying there's counters to that argument. That argument
Sure.
is very powerful on the surface, but there's many counters to that argument.
I would think though that as whatever gets passed by
You
the
should
town
probably
board
ask
is being
Beavertown about that, because my understanding is they try to enforce making people trim their lawns and do all that, and they got slapped down on it. They
Well,
couldn't
like I
enforce
said
that.
too, I know it Heather's, started as far as this discussion goes, without enforcement, you have nothing anyways. So, if enforcement is an issue with mining, or if enforcement's an issue with other topics, then we probably shouldn't even be discussing adding things that have to be enforced more so if we're not enforcing the things that are already on the books.
Well, this is too.
The beautification thing, like I said, I'm just brainstorming. It's just my opinion. I'm only one person in the whole entire town, so.
No, it's great if you lived in Lake Placid or something. I mean,
Sure.
We're not a rich community. I mean,
Sure, but if you want to increase the tax base and you want to have nicer things for your town, then
we
that's
can't
what you
afford to
want
have
to do.
higher taxes.
We have
That's the problem.
We have the second lowest tax rate in Clinton
We
County.
shouldn't have any taxes with the income
So-
I got. No other town has that much income coming in. No other town. No
We can
other,
agree
I've
to
talked to many
disagree.
towns in other towns. They think this is ridiculous.
We can agree to disagree.
So they think it's ridiculous. No other town wanted that landfill here.
There might be 119 people on the Tri-Hamlet Facebook group that thinks it's ridiculous, but the 700 people that came out.
I'm
and
not
voted
talking
to go
about
vote.
anybody around this town.
All
I'm
right,
talking about
hold up.
other towns.
We're not here to get
No,
into debates
no,
or anything else. We are
no,
here for zoning input.
No.
So
What is the population of Schuyler Falls?
5,000.
That's a little less than that now, but yeah.
No.
I think to go back to your first point is, and Howard, correct me if I'm wrong, we will be having more public input sessions,
Yes.
and as Heather said, we're just getting rolling here.
Yes.
So I think this was sort of the first step to see what broad spectrum comments people would have, and then as we move forward, I think we will probably, when we get to some of these specific like special use regulations covering some targeted topics, we'll probably have more of those input sessions where, because we're only a few volunteers,
Right.
but we do want to
Reach
try and
out.
speak for the masses. So having some targeted discussion topics like that will be
Yeah.
forthcoming.
Yeah, I think we might, I don't want to miscommunicate either. I'm not saying that we want to increase the tax rate on people. I'm saying we want to increase the tax base. We want people to be
But if you
encouraged to
increase-
move to Schuyler Falls and build houses here. That actually keeps the tax rate lower on everybody. The more that you divide taxes amongst the people, the lower the taxes are in a town.
Right.
So
So if you're
we-
increasing the value of your property with the taxes going up, then
Sure.
you're increasing.
Sure, absolutely.
Everything else as
but
well,
you also
so-
want to encourage people to move here and build
Right,
here,
right.
which would then
Understood.
make everybody's taxes lower per thousand. So then the
Understood.
$200,000 house might be taxed the same as $150,000.
We are more of an agriculture area though here. You can't have that really in Plattsburgh. That's why I think people like to come to Schuyler Falls, because they like animals. They like to have fields and grass and
That may be
freedom
the
like
case
that.
in the rural part of Schuyler Falls, but maybe not in the Hamlet.
Right. Okay,
So,
very good. Well, we hit 7:30, so if anybody else has anything they want to put in for zoning very quickly, otherwise we will say thank you for everybody coming in for the information. You know, I got a page and a half, I don't know about anybody else.
I got 3 pages.
So,
That's good though, because we really needed this.
okay.
When's the next meeting?
Not sure yet, I gotta
yeah.
find out what's available for the room, so. And what I will do is I will send out an email to everybody when I get those dates, and everybody get back to me as to the best time, and we will go from there, so.
Well, maybe you could leave us with your email
Yeah.
and stuff, and I can have Howard.
Well,
Oh, you got
Already
some
put in.
cards. All right, look at that.
you guys should.
I like my cat too.
No.
I got Heather.
I got one you can talk to later.
I'll do that. Okay, so Heather, you have anything?
Nope. The only other thing I was going to bring up is mobile homes being used as storage, for like a contractor or someone who wants to keep extra supplies in it. Our discussion was as long as it was kept clean and maintained, and that someone could freely use it as extra storage space. I think that would be a fair thing. I know Ryan was bringing that up, that he really wanted that, so.
Wanted to be able to do that or not be able to do
Yes, to be
Yeah,
able
because
to do
unfortunately this
that.
place burned. There's not much storage space, so you like to
Yeah.
have a little extra
that?
space.
It is an
Okay.
interesting
I think that's what-
conversation. My position on that would be that I think, well,
You-
maybe I
you-
contradict myself because
agreed
it
with
goes
me
back
on
to the
that.
grassing. You should have a right to do what you want with your own property, I guess, when it comes to that. So,
Pay my taxes.
exactly. That's fair.
As
That's
long
fair.
as it's clean. I think our main
Good-
discussion was as
good
long
fences
as it
make
was
good
kept
neighbors.
clean.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You
And
might
that's
want to get ahead of
that's
it.
a great truth
Curve
too.
about shipping containers as housing and decide whether you're for it, against it, whether it's going to be allowed in the future or
Well,
not.
the-
Because
Well,
shipping
that's
containers
also
as
a
storage
New
or
York
housing?
State
as
building code.
housing,
You don't want
Like
someone-
tiny houses and stuff too. We don't have
Yeah.
covered in our zoning either.
and they're also
so.
stackable. You can stack them and stagger them and have.
I have seen that.
But
yeah.
like you said, that's all back to building code and stuff like that too, so.
Dave, you have anything?
No.
Mike? Okay. I will be in touch. Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank
We're
you.
done.